Shalom, Cap. Kind out of one kind.
Racing K, the Racing Man.
No sweat.
I'm coming back with the bitch, like Tobias did. In the background with the blacksmith tying in. I'm the good shepherd, you're a hireling. The Lord is a man of war, surely he requires men. Plenty crowns on his head, the Messiah kid, weeping and gnashing the teeth, bring your violence. I control the brains of behemoth and leviathan. Iron sharpens iron, I'm on fire with the iron fist. I keep it 125, I don't front, nigga. I keep my sword and a shovel when I hunt, nigga. I stay wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. Fuck God is all love, nigga, give it up. I'm in the club on Shamar, no departure. Quick to pull the arrows out the quiver like an archer. King Arthur, with the knights of the round, equipping brotherhood, a weapon you should never lay it down. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. I'm at the pinnacle, my niggas identical. You don't want drama, our Armada's the original. True Seminoles waiting on the signal. Move for your honor, the commanding general. In the cold, niggas suffer, earn your cover. In the go, anybody shouting Shabbat Shalom is a joke. Keep your distance from religions, I'm a sniper with the skull. One body, one mind, I align, they revolt. 50 lessons is you bastards getting mercy. Jada Pinkett is him getting tangled with the wordplay. Fuck a retrograde, you bitches is mercy. We be breaking down scriptures cause it's Thursday. One West, 125th is the birthplace. So black and so brown and so speckled, how the birds say. Now you can hate that we hollow, but since you faithfully follow, I take a virgin, no chaser. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some.
Yeah. How are you? How was I?
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe.
Really serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who's knowing it with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga.
All right, go ahead and clap it up. Shalom Israel, with Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Austin Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is what we're going to need to get up out of these conditions. Brotherhood and sisterhood is where you're going to learn the truth. So many people are out there and they're just teaching lies. This world is flooded with lies. That's why everybody you know got some information. It don't matter who you go and talk to, they're going to open their mouth and they're going to spew out something. And they're going to say, no, because this is what I believe, or this is what I feel, or this is the way it is. But they don't have the truth.
That's right.
And that is the problem. That is the problem with our community. That's why you need this brotherhood. This brotherhood here in the Israelite School of UPK is how everybody on the earth knows what they're supposed to be doing, knows who they are, knows what it is.
Right.
Without Commanding General Yohana, what would the earth know? Right. Not a damn thing.
That's right.
Because this is the truth. That's why this was preserved. This was preserved because this is the home of the truth. And it's going to take brotherhood and it's going to take sisterhood to get up out of these conditions that we are in. Every other nation, they love each other and they pull themselves out of they make it so they don't have to suffer a harsh condition. All right, so I talked to the Arabs that come and they own the gas stations.
Right.
Because I seen one over here. And then I started to see him over here. Then I started to see him over here. This is 3 different gas stations I go to that I'm seeing this guy. And he told me, he said, no, you work at one for a couple years, then you work at another one for a couple years, then you work at another one, then you get your own. So just imagine that. They're coming to this country, they already have a job. They already have a place to be, right? And in about 4 to 6 years, they're going to have their own gas station. How long do you go there? You've been going there since you got 3 whiskers right here trying to buy cigarillos. Mm-hmm. Now you're 55 and you're still buying cigarillos, and it's been generations that of people that this has been passed through. So they have their brotherhood, they have their sisterhood in those nail shops, right? You're gonna go in that nail shop. You can't get a job, but you go in there and they'll talk about you. Sisters love going to the Hamites to get braided. Oh, there was 3 of them in my head. It was fast. You going in there paying $400 to have 6 heathen hands in your head. Right? And they're passing this down. They're passing this down through their community. But when you pass it down through your community, it's a bad thing. Now all of a sudden you're in a cult because you love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or you have to be in a gang, right? That I don't know if y'all ever walked through the mall. You know, you can't walk. You'll probably be there with 5 people, but they don't let you walk with more than 4, so you kind of have to split up. Right. That was made for us, and they say it's because it's like you're walking. It's like a gang. Well, all the other nations walk through the mall in a gang, but you can't. Anytime you come together, they want to separate you. You came together and you built Black Wall Street. That's right. And you know what they did? They bombed it. Right. They don't want you to come together. They don't want you to love you. All the while, everybody else is allowed to love themselves. So that's why here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under the Commander General Yohana, we have a brotherhood class, because it's going to teach you brotherhood and sisterhood. This is what we need, because if not, we will love our enemies. That's right. And then this is what's so evil about the spirit of loving your enemies. You'll have so much love for everybody that you won't have any love reserved for your people. Right. Because you look at your people like you. They're poor like you. Right. Their skin is ugly like my skin is. You see, Michael Jackson, when he was dark, he used to cry in that mirror and tell his mom, "Catherine, I'm ugly." You know what I mean? That's what he used to do, because we have been made to be at the bottom now, when we were supposed to be the greatest. Let me get that, Deuteronomy 7:6. We're supposed to be the greatest people on the earth, but we are made to be at the bottom now because society treats the Lord's children as garbage. Wow. If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, everybody in the world, that dirty, stinky, filthy heathen looks down on you like you're trash. Right. While he's shredding over there in East India, shredding beef with his right toenail, and he's looking at you like you're garbage. And he's over there having relations with a goat, but you're disgusting. Your oppressor has made everybody believe that they are better than you when nobody on this earth is better than you. Let me get that.
Right. Kabukun. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
For that are what?
An holy people.
Holy. Stemming from the word kodash, meaning separate. We are a separate people. We're supposed to be separate. We're not supposed to be in with anybody. Everybody hates you, but wants to be you at the same time. Right. That's why they don't want to trade positions with you, but they want to wear that Yankee fitted like you wear that Yankee fitted. Right. They want to wear those clothes like you wear those clothes. Oh, they want to dance like you. Right. They see how you move. Oh, you rap. I can go around the world and find rap because of you. Go ahead, Rocky.
It's like, sir, I know it's about at least 5-6 million Asians that got 20 times more pair of J's than I do. They got the whole collection.
That's right. They got everything because they want to be like you. They say, "Oh, what are they doing?" Oh, if they're doing it, then we're doing it because we are the salt of the earth. Right. And that's what the salt of the earth does. It seasons the earth. The earth gets its seasoning and its flavor from so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because if not, it wouldn't have no flavor. Right. It wouldn't have no season. It would be dull. All right, go ahead and continue reading.
Go come unto the Lord thy God.
Unto who?
The Lord thy God.
We're supposed to be a special, a holy, a separate people unto the Lord thy God. This isn't delegated to everybody. This is delegated to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Continue reading.
Go come, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
No, you just jumped up and said, I'm gonna be this.
To be a special people.
The Lord has chosen you.
Right. He
made a choice. He looked at everybody on the earth and made a decision and said, I'm gonna just put it with them. I'm gonna just, yeah, them right there. Yeah. Y'all gonna be my people. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, y'all right there. Continue reading.
God will come to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
No, next to.
Above all people.
Joining hand in hand.
Above all people.
You see, that kills Martin Luther King's speech. Right. Because we're supposed to be above all people, not under. Oh, today we're under. We're under because we want to reverence Sexy Red and Little Baby. We want to reverence all the destroyed of our nation. You know what? You know what y'all should reverence? Y'all should reverence the priests and prophets in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Right. Maybe if that's who you look up to, maybe your life can change. Maybe you could put away those things that you don't need, those things that are destroying and harming us. Those same things that destroy and harm us are the very things that we love. And we love it. We love it at such an extent that we're easily destroyed. They know what to do. All right. Put some cocaine in their neighborhood. They're going to turn it into crack. Right. Because we already took away all the factories in the 70s. They can't get a damn job. Their baby is starving. We know how loving and compassionate they are. So they're going to think about that wife. They're going to think about that baby. And they're going to say, I have to be a man. I have to get money somehow. You know how many men that were honorable that were working in those factories in the 70s? Right. Before they shut them down. But the reason they shut those factories down is because you was able to work. You would go to work, Kakam, right? You'll go to the slave. You would have a 4-bedroom house, 2 cars, just from you going to the slave. You know what your rib would be doing? Your rib would be with all the other sisters in the neighborhood, bringing the kids up together every day. We had a real community, a real family. They seen that and they said, we had to take this away. Then in the 80s, they introduced the crack. But introducing the crack was a reintroduction of the breaking of the buck. Right. So back in slavery. All right, so y'all know about Levi jeans, right? All right, so the Levi jeans, there's 2 horses on them. Yeah. So they're saying their jeans are strong enough that they can't break it apart. Well, this goes back to breaking of the buck in slavery, because they would tie 2 horses to a slave and they would set his family out there and they're ripping them apart. So now the woman, she's going to automatically teach her daughter that these men can't protect you, because master could come in here, do whatever he wants. He could take you. He can have you in any way that he fantasizes, right? And he could take your men and string them out and tear them apart. So you teach your son to be weaker, because our women love our children and they want them to be alive. So they don't want them to be strong. Well, that happened when they introduced crack cocaine in the 80s, because you were, instead of getting torn apart by the horses, you were getting torn from your family again by going to prison. And then your rib is saying, well, you can't trust these men, because eventually he's going to go off. He's going to go to prison. And you're going to have to raise these kids alone. And then you're going to teach a man not to be like his father, because you want him to be weak and subservient. And the cycle continues. Right. And that's why we are weak and subservient today. That's why we can't stand out there and say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because you're too scared. Right. Well, here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we are not scared. and the Father we fear.
Right.
Nothing else. Go ahead, rapping guy.
Come on. And so like, so I could, that's heavy because like growing up, you know what I'm saying, where we from, we always got to get the talk. We talk about the talk. It's time for him to get the talk so he'll know what to do. But how about you just teach your kids the laws, statutes, and commandments? That way you don't have to worry about nothing.
Give him a hand. That's the talk you should have. Give me Hosea 4:6. That's the talk you should have. Because we don't have the talk that Rapanyah just mentioned, we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
That's why we're destroyed, because we don't have the talk.
Right.
You want to talk to your kids about all manner of nonsense. Talk to them about God's laws, so maybe you could save their life.
Right.
Maybe if we were all taught that, maybe we won't grow up in a gang.
Right.
Maybe our sisters won't grow up having to give their bodies to everybody because they were touched as some little girl.
Right.
Maybe they wouldn't grow up and be so promiscuous because they wouldn't be trying to take their body back.
Right.
See, that's what people don't understand. When people get assaulted in a certain way, they're trying to gain the power back. They're trying to get something back that was stolen from them. And that is hard to do.
That's right.
That is hard to regain. And I think the Most High, I never had to experience that, because that is something that is so difficult to get back, because it was stolen from you at a time where you couldn't defend or protect yourself.
Right.
And when you can't defend or protect yourself and something happens to you at that time, there might become a time where you get bigger and you think that you're protecting yourself, but you're not. Sisters, you're not protecting yourself by becoming a stud.
Right.
You're giving that man more power over you because you say, nah, it's never going to happen to me like that again. So you harden up, and now you think you're the man. You become that man who did that to you. And that's the cycles that we have to break. That's what's important about brotherhood. That's what's important about learning that we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
There was a time where all of us in here were destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
That's right.
And then we got the knowledge and the spirit of the Most High. See, people want to come and they want to battle. They're going to battle you against this truth, because what you're saying is to them radical, but they don't understand that Christ was radical. They don't understand that this is just the truth. I tell people all the time, if they say, well, what if you're not if we're not the Israelites, then this book is still for whoever the Israelites are then.
That's right.
It's not for everybody. And see, this is how you know this is a book about us, because we're the only ones in the world who want to give everything to everybody.
That's right.
We want to give everything of ours. Man, if we could give God away, we would do it. God could come down and say, hey, one last chance. Just y'all or everybody? Salakia, sir, everybody. You should be about all love. Go ahead, Zakaria.
Like you, sir. Our people gonna start speaking in Hebrew all of a sudden.
Right. That's what they're gonna do. It's crazy, man. We love to give this because we're compassionate. That's why our oppressor was able to do what they did to us, because they are a filthy beast.
That's right.
They're a beast of the field.
Right.
You're not. You're somebody with compassion, somebody with understanding, somebody who cares. They don't. Where we at? Hosea 4:6.
Khan, this is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
My people are destroyed for a lack of
You
knowledge.
see, it says, my people. That is possessive. The Lord has a people, and he said his people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Continue reading.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge. See, that's what we do. When we reject the laws, the statutes, and commandments, we are rejecting the knowledge of the Most High.
Right.
That is the knowledge.
Right.
That is the thing that links us with the Most High. Right? Continue reading.
Khan, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
See, and there we was no priests. Oh, there was a time where there was no priests on this earth.
That's right.
Until when? We went a time until 1969 when the priests and prophets, here in the Israelite School of UPK,
That's right.
resurfaced out there. Continue reading.
Come, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
So hold on. They have what?
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Continue.
I will also forget thy children.
Stop there. See, who here was born in the truth? We were forgotten children.
Right.
What about your fathers? What about your grandfathers? Your great-grandfather? Your great-great-great-great? We were lost.
That's right.
And because we forgot the laws of thy God. Read that part one more time. Forgot the laws of thy God.
Come, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
This is why Christianity is so wicked, because they teach you that the laws are done away with. And what did God just say?
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
See, Christianity goes against God, because God is all about the laws. They're all about the love of God, not understanding the only way you're going to get any love from God is if you follow his laws. That's it. And our children are forgotten. And that's why we have Trayvon Martins. That's why we have grown men who are children like George Floyd screaming mama before he was unalived. Because we have been forgotten, because we've forgotten the laws of thy God. Next time you look at your pastor, think about that when he tells you that you under grace and that the laws are done away with.
Right.
You see, people do not understand this Bible, and who you follow matters.
That's right.
And you better understand, if you follow in the wrong person, you're going to go the same way as them.
Right.
You're going to burn in that fire like them. You're going to get the judgment like them. You're going to have your head between your ankles like them. All right. Let me get Daniel 10:5.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
See, this is Christ right here. And in Daniel 7:9, it talks about the Most High. See, people try to tell you, oh, well, God is a spirit, and shut up. Okay, we know that. But it also gives a description. All right. Well, this description right here is of Christ. Okay, continue reading.
Come. Verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire.
His eyes of a lamps of fire, because his eyes was red. His eyes was red. He drank that wine too, you know. Mind heavy. He had a big burden that he had to deal with. He had to be perfect and come and be unalive for somebody like me. Good night. Just think about it like that. Just think of who you are, and think of what happened to Christ for you. Why? He's perfect. I wouldn't have done it. We wouldn't have done it for him, and he's perfect. Just think about that. Just think about what he did for you. Just think about, that's why he the Ottawa. That's why. Because of what he did. Continue reading.
Come. And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Like a color to polished brass, a derivative of brown. Right? Christ was a black man. Not an Arab, if my cousin's watching. Not an Arab. Not a white man. You know, they want to say all this stuff. People got all these interjections. They got all this high science because that's what weed does. Weed makes you so Yaquab, man. You don't know how smart weed makes you. He say, what's that one? If you going 60 mile an hour, what's that one thing? He said, if you going 60 miles per hour, how long does it take you to go? What did it say, 60 miles? That nigga said, I think about 4 hours. The answer is, that's what weed does to you. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 4 hours. The answer is in the damn question, you idiot. But people got all this high science and they think they know everything because not my Jesus. Oh, could come, my Jesus loves you. Oh, Yahweh, my Jesus. That's not my Jesus. That Jesus you talking about. That Matthew 10 and 34 Jesus. No, I don't feel that's what Jesus. They'll look at the Bible. Jesus is gonna chop your head off at 7 o'clock. Not my Jesus. Because he said no man know the hour or the time. That's how they don't live in reality. Right. They want to make Jesus some fairy tale that's going to come down and kiss everybody on their lips before he takes you to heaven. That's what they're looking for. Oh, he's going to come. You ready? That's what they think. They think there's going to be some, and you're going to just float up. This earth is destroyed. Let me get Revelations. No, finish that out, and then we'll go to Revelations 1 and 13 to get Christ again in the New Testament.
Like that.
Go ahead.
All right, I had a cool.
Real
quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the weed making people spiritual.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Definitely.
Somebody said online. Somebody said the key to immortality is eating lobsters because lobsters are immortal.
And they're immortal how? Because they're not dead on that plate. Go ahead. You know why they're immortal? Go ahead. Good night.
They say lobsters are immortal because they don't die. I guess they sit in the water for a life, like 100 some years. All right.
Good night. What about when they're in Red Lobster? Are they still immortal? When you go to Red Lobster and you say, "Give me that lobster tail," it's just his ass. Is he immortal then? When he just an ass on the plate, is that lobster still immortal?
Nah, sir.
Good night. That's crazy. Good night. Somebody go ahead and pick up.
Revelations 1 and 13, sir.
God.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candles.
And in the midst of the 7 candles. What is that, Cario?
Nah, sorry, I don't know.
Which the 7 candlesticks represent the 7 schools, which represents the truth, which represents the real church. You see, all those Christians, they say they're a church, but they're not the real church. They're not the real schools. They're not the real any damn thing of God. We are. Continue reading.
Don't come, sir. One like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt upon the pate with a golden girdle.
Hey, you see that golden girdle? That golden girdle is a war belt. That girdle ain't the girdle that your girl puts on today after too many cheeseburgers.
Right.
Okay. When she trying to make that voluptuous figure, you know, and hide all her flaws. That ain't the girdle it's talking about. Continue reading.
Come on, said verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
See, white being the color, right? Gray hair from the wisdom. You know, that's what gray hair symbolizes, wisdom. It's supposed to. Don't think because somebody got gray hair that they wise, okay? There's a lot of idiotic gray hair people in the world, right? Continue reading.
Hold on. And as his
but hold on. Wool being the texture, white being the color. Continue.
Hold on. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire because he liked to drink the wine, right? Why did he like to drink wine? Because his mind was heavy. There was something that he had to do. Continue reading.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as they burned in a furnace.
Have y'all seen anything burnt? When it's burnt, it is crunchy black.
That's right.
It is black. Christ was a dark-skinned brother.
Right.
It was a skin of bronze as if it was burnt in a furnace. Have you ever held a lighter on a penny and you just see that black mark over it? That was Christ, right? Continue reading.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
He spoke loud. He raised his voice. His voice, it traveled. All right, give me Matthew 10 and 34.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 44.
This is y'all Christ, Christians.
You said 40.
10 and 34, Christians. This is your Jesus. This is the Jesus of the Bible, Christians. Not the Jesus of First Episcopal Baptist, non-denominational, touch a kid when we come back in the back to pray for salvation. Dunk you in water. Sell pork chop sandwiches at the... Oh, let me tell you about my bishop. He said, hey, we're going to feed the homeless. So we all put in money. So we put in money and they bought food. The church did buy the food. But you know what happened? In about 2 weeks, we was getting some of those same plates that we bought. We bought the food and was getting sold the food. Continue reading. All right, go ahead and read.
Okay, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Think not that I am come to send peace.
Do what?
Think not that I am come to send peace.
Christ said, think not that I come to send peace. There ain't no peace that's good. That's coming to these other nations. Christ ain't coming to send peace. Go ahead.
On earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword.
Christ does not come to send peace, but he comes to send a sword. That's what Christ is coming to do. He is coming to right the wrongs because of the things that happened to his people. Now let's get into it. Give me Matthew 24 and 3.
This book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat upon the Mount of Olives.
Yep.
The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be?
You see, he was just sitting there chilling. And those disciples came, they came privately. And they said, tell us these things of what's going to be. They wanted to know the future. They wanted to know what was going to go on, what is going to happen. Like, that's our spirit. We always want to know. We trying to know every goddamn thing. They wanted to know what was going to happen. Continue reading.
Come, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
All right, so we know you're going to leave, Sir Salaki. We know you leaving. But what's the sign of you coming back in the end of the world?
Right.
This is what we want to know. This is what we trying to understand. All right, go ahead and continue reading.
Come, verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Do what?
Take heed that no man deceive you.
Take heed that no man deceive you. Do you not understand? If you are in the world, you are deceived.
That's right.
What are people deceived by?
The deceitfulness of riches, sir.
All right. Give me something more simple.
They deceived by everything.
Yeah, but give me something simple.
The white man?
Yeah, but I want it more simple than that. It's things that we do, things that we celebrate.
So they deceived by holidays like
yes,
Christmas.
You're deceived by Christmas.
Right.
Have a jolly, holly Christmas and a happy New Year. Man, I used to love Christmas. Man, I remember December. What was December 24th? I had a thing to somebody thing. And then I was a real gangster on the 24th. And then I woke up and I made a whole video like, wake up, it's Christmas. And you would never imagine I would say anything like that from what I did the night before.
Right.
The night before was so wicked and destructive against my brother. I did some super super wicked thing the night before. And then every year on my memory, I'm reminded of what I did on the 24th to some brothers by that video. I'm like, wake up. And I'm talking like that.
Right.
It makes you so weak and effeminate.
Right.
It turned me into just a weak and effeminate and tender and moist man.
Right.
For Christmas.
Come.
For your birthday. For all these things. That's what we have to understand. We have to understand to let no man deceive us. We are being deceived out here.
Right.
Every month they got something for you to celebrate. And you celebrate it. You got to celebrate something every time. You got to celebrate Mother's Day. Your mother hates you because you look like your father. Continue reading.
Come, verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
You see, many come in their name saying they are Christ. Think of all the nuts on the internet that think they're Christ. You know who thought they were Christ? Nature Boy.
Right.
Look where he's at now. And he's not there for doing the work of the Lord. Right. Now, you might be. To come? Yeah, you might be there for the work of the Lord. Nature Boy is not.
Right.
He is not sitting behind bars because of the work of the Lord. He's sitting behind bars because he called himself the three God. He said he is God. He is Christ. There's a lot of people that's going to say that. There's a lot of entities that come in Christ's name.
Right.
Continue reading. It's going to get heavier.
Come, and shall deceive many.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
You're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars because that's what's going on in the earth. Wars. A lot of y'all were born in the war. When was 9/11?
It was 01, sir.
How many of y'all was born before that? All of y'all?
Nah, I think just
were all of y'all born before 01? Yeah, because I got a son that was born in 04 and he's going to turn 21 this year.
Right.
That's crazy. Y'all were born into war.
Right.
And they're talking about you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. Y'all were born into war.
Right.
I've seen a few wars. You know? It's those wars and rumors of wars. These are things that have to happen. And you keep seeing it and seeing it and seeing it. Continue reading.
Come, see that you be not troubled.
Mm-hmm.
For all these things must come to pass.
See, don't be troubled. Don't be troubled by Ukraine and Russia. Don't be troubled by Israel and Gaza. Because these things have to happen.
Right.
If these things don't happen, then what's going to happen to you? You're going to be what forever?
A slave.
A slave forever. So these things have to happen. Don't be scared. Continue reading.
Come. But the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Yep.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall be famines and pestilences.
You see, all these nations are going to rise against nations and kingdom against kingdoms. You're going to have famines because of tariffs.
Right.
Because of the tariffs, you're going to have famines. Because of the blockade that Israel has against Gaza, you're going to have famines. This is what's going to happen because it has to happen. Continue reading.
Come. And pestilences.
Mm-hmm.
And earthquakes in diverse places.
And see, those diseases and those earthquakes in diverse places. We just recently, not that long ago, had a earthquake in New York.
Right.
New York don't get no damn earthquakes. But we're going to have those in diverse places. In these places that it usually doesn't happen. Continue reading.
Come. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All what?
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
It's not the end. These are the beginning of sorrows. This is the time that you're going to have to really be a part of the truth so you can have food in your belly.
Right.
So you can sustain your family with the knowledge of the Most High. Because without that, you're going to be destroyed. Drop down to 11.
Come on, verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
That's why the Christianity is so big. There's many false prophets. People believe T.D. Jakes and Geno Jennings and Joel Osteen and Marvin Sapp locked the doors. Creflo Dollar, they believe these are prophets. Creflo and Tammy Dollar, I can't even trust niggas with those names.
Right.
And prophet and prophetess Creflo and Tammy Dollar. You destroyed me with your name being Dollar.
Exactly.
Only dollar I know is Ricky Rich's dog.
Right.
Dollar Bill. Yeah, that's it. If it ain't that, you can't be named Dollar, homie.
Right.
Continue reading.
Come on, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
You see, there's going to come this time where this iniquity, when it'll read that part again.
Come on. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
See, as that iniquity grows, as that hurt and that terror, that love that you have, it's going to wax cold. If you're not in here, that love that you thought you had for that brother, your day one, it's going to wax cold because your belly is touching your back. Well, in here, it won't. And here we're going to stand strong together because we have the Lord with us. Remember Joseph? Joseph wasn't struggling in Egypt. People was coming to Egypt to get fed.
Right.
Because of what Joseph did. That's how you're going to be. You are the new Joseph. Because when it hits the fan, everybody's going to be coming to you. Those same people they made fun of. I don't know if you know it, but I don't know if you realize this yet, especially being young officers, is people in your life that kind of make fun of this, when the shit hits the fan for them, they really come to you for the real answers. Like most of the people that I know, they really come to me for the real answers.
Right.
Like when it's bad, when it's no longer a joking matter, and they need the 100% real answer, they come to me.
Right.
You know? That's how my brother Jorge is. Anytime my brother Jorge has a real dilemma or anything that is real to his life, that is detrimental, he comes to me for the answer. He might make all the Israelite jokes in the world, but when it's time, he's going to come to me. That's how they're going to do you. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end.
But what?
That shall endure unto the end.
You are already saved.
That shall endure unto the end.
You have the victory.
That shall endure unto the end.
That's what you have to do. You have to endure it to the end for what?
Come on, the same shall be saved.
That's how you get saved. You think you're saved today? You hanging off the cliff. I pull up. You hanging off a cliff, Rapping God. And I pull up. Are you saved because I pulled up?
Lie, sir.
That's what Christianity is. They think they saved because they can see you.
Right.
Not knowing that I'm down here on the cliff hanging 350 pounds, and I'm asking a 135-pound brother to pull me up. You're not saved yet. You're not saved until you're off of the cliff. But Christians are hanging off of a cliff and believe that they are saved. How do you help a people like that? Go ahead.
Come on. And that example is heavy as itself because it's like, imagine the truth is like you hanging off a cliff. Christians will just stay there and hang instead of trying to fight to get up, to endure to the end. They'll just stay there hanging and wait for Christ to save them instead of trying to get up and going to meet him.
And you know why? Because not my Jesus.
Right.
Man, I seen this thing one time. It said the man was stranded out there. The man was stranded in the water, and he said, God save me. So then a boat drove by and said, do you need help? He said, no, God's going to save me. Then a helicopter came down and said, do you need help? He said, no, God's going to save me. The man dies, goes to heaven, and says, God, why didn't you save me? He said, well, I sent a boat and a helicopter. That's Christianity. God sends exactly what you need, but you can't see it because you want him to physically come and kiss you on the lips. Yeah, that's how I imagine Christianity. Because they think God and Christ is going to come and kiss them on the lips. Brother, I'm saved. That's how you float. As soon as you get kissed on the lips, you float. It might be the neck for some. I've risen. Okay, go ahead, Robert Young.
So like I said, my cousin, this is a good precept for like our ideal of enduring to the end is.
Let's see.
Khan. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Yeah, that's definitely a good precept. Because that's what you have to do. You have to take the kingdom. Christians are waiting on Christ. Christ is waiting on us. So you have to take the kingdom. Oh, but once we get the kingdom, it's going to endure forever and forever. You see all the parts where people see nations and all these things, and they believe everybody's going to be saved and God loves everybody. They never realize that if you just keep reading on, it always shows an enemy.
Right.
So we have to conquer that. We have to conquer our enemy. We have to conquer our demon. We have to conquer our flesh. And then we can rule with Christ forever and forever. That's where I want to be. I'm tired of being at the bottom. I've been at the bottom forever.
Right.
I've been at the bottom since 1982.
That's right.
Y'all niggas don't even know what 82 is. Being born in the 2000s, y'all like 82. Y'all wonder how I'm still alive. Like, God damn, 82. Yes. You know. Continue reading. Hold on. You got to drop down.
Okay.
Let me see. Where we at?
We was at verse 13 and near to the end.
Drop down to 21.
Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time.
You see, everybody wants Christ to come back. As they're doing all the wickedness in the world, they're wanting Christ to come back.
Right.
All through this.
Right.
Not knowing that what? Read that again.
Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world.
Just think of all the terrors that have happened in the world. Just think of all the horror. And it's telling you there's going to be tribulations that you have never seen. And you asking for the Lord to come back. That's why there's a part of the Bible that says, what does it benefit you that the Lord comes back?
Right.
What are you asking for the Lord to come back? What is it going to benefit you when you are a filthy, disgusting bastard? Continue reading.
To this time, no, nor ever shall be. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
What does that mean? Go ahead.
That if Yahweh don't come back,
no, you keep going.
If Yahweh don't come back, everybody gonna die. There will be no literal flesh left.
Yeah, but what flesh is important right here?
The election, and us.
You understand? Because of your oppressor. Just think of how long it's been. How many babies we have. If Christ don't come back at a certain time, we all would be gone. There'd be one last, and he'd be like, because they would destroy all of us. Continue reading.
Verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
You see, Your Christian pastors, all the people that you know that go to church, they believe that Christ is in their church.
Right.
They be arguing over it. Oh, my pastor, no. Oh, my pastor be getting that word. Oh, my pastor be moving the spirit. They all say that same nonsense. Christ ain't with you, you idiot.
Right.
Why you eating a pork chop catfish sandwich in one? I want pork and catfish on mine. Yeah, a little bit of hot sauce. Give me that Zakaria. Give me that Zakaria. Yeah. Zakaria got it in his bag. Continue reading.
Gun. Verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shoot great signs and wonders.
You see, these prophets, not these prophets, these false prophets, these false idols, they show you great signs. T.D. Jakes is going to sweat over his church. Just look at his sermon. Look how much he sweat.
Right.
He didn't slip and fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great miracle to me. No, I'm just kidding. But they really be showing you things. You think it's a miracle because of the numbers they have.
Right.
Because of the amount of money they could pull. Because of the power they have. And that's how they get you. Go ahead, Rapper Young.
I was gonna say, if anything, that T.D. Jakes is gonna slip on, it's gonna be that baby oil.
That Diddy. But he can show you a great sign because he can get a bunch of people to come together and pay him to talk to you. And you'll look at him like, damn, he must be a man of God. Man, I came in here. Look at all these people coming in here like me for the truth. And you'll believe that. But he's not. That's why it says that right there. Read that again.
Come, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets.
Yep.
And shall shoot great signs and wonders.
Continue.
And so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
You see, it's possible that they deceive the very elect because you went there. You went there in a wheelchair, right? Even though you could walk, you didn't really have the will to walk. Then he prayed over you and you jolted and you gyrated. And then you got up out of that wheelchair and you took 3 steps.
Right.
So he has to be a prophet of God.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to let y'all in on it. Do any of y'all know about Benny Hill?
All
right, Benny Hill, he's like an Arab looking kind of one, and he be smacking people with their jacket and they be falling out. He'd be like,
oh yeah, I seen him.
All right, so when I was about 14, 15 years old, this chick I was with, her mother's friend, went to a Benny Hill show, right? He blew on her and hit her with the jacket and did all this thing and told her that her cancer was healed. So she stopped doing anything to help her cancer. And could anybody guess what happened to her? She died. She died. But she believed that this was a prophet of God. Like your grandmother believes this is the prophet of God and she doesn't have to take her high blood pressure medicine. Just like your grandfather believes this is a prophet of God and his leg gets cut off because of the diabetes. This is what it means when they say my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Right. Because we'll go and follow somebody who we think has the truth.
Right.
And they have absolutely nothing but a lie. Continue reading.
Come. Verse 25. Behold,
down to 30.
Drop down 30. Come, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds.
Coming what?
Coming in the clouds.
Coming where?
Coming in the clouds.
Y'all watch out for that Project Bluebeam. They're going to have a white Jesus descend from the sky and probably touch the ground. Well, we know before that, Christ is coming in those clouds.
That's right.
With them angels. And we're going to know. Where we at?
Bottom 30, sir.
Go ahead, continue.
Coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
You're going to come with power and great glory. Let me get Revelations 1 and 7.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
You see, silly Christians believe this means God loves everybody because all nations are going to bow and going to see him and going to. That doesn't mean that they get a part of this covenant.
That's right.
He's going to come in those clouds. He's going to come in those chariots, right? And every eye will see them. And all those kindreds on the earth, after they realize what they've done to God's people, then they're going to be well and cry out.
That's right.
Let me get Isaiah 13 and 6.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 6. How ye.
Do what?
How ye.
How ye.
Right.
That's a cry out. That's what you're going to do. You think the day of the Lord is sweet? That's going to be a cry. That's going to be a scary day. Right. You think that's going to be the best damn day of your life when you're a filthy, disgusting bastard. Continue reading.
Come on. How ye. For the day of the Lord is at hand.
For what?
For the day of the Lord is at hand.
Y'all ever hear a wolf howl? Y'all ever hear anything howl? Anything cry out? That's how the day of the Lord is going to be. We're going to cry out. It's not going to be a safe and pleasant day like you think. It's not going to be as LGBTQ as you think.
Right.
I think it's going to be such a magical day. It's going to be magical, but magical as in tragical, to where you can't believe what is going on in the earth.
That's right.
All right, we could drop that. Let me get Revelations 11 and 12.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
So it said they heard a voice that said, Come up hither. And they ascended to heaven in a cloud. What does it mean to ascend in heaven in the cloud in this context?
Chariot.
In a chariot. Continue.
Khan. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
And their enemies beheld them. They're looking. Your enemies, all these people who treat the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians like a piece of garbage, they're going to look up and say, damn, those really are God's people. They're going to look at you floating up. That man that didn't give you that job, that probation officer who just hounds you all the time, they're going to have to look up at you going up in a chariot and bewail you and say, damn, that is the people of God. And Captain Yatazar gave me something so heavy. He was talking about, as we're going up there, he said that he's seen, people that he loved in the world, and they couldn't get on the chariot with him. So as he's looking, he's hurt.
Right.
He said, and the angel told him, you could just go out there with them. You might see your mama who you love. You might see your son or your daughter who you love. But do you want to be in the same position as them? Or do you rather they just come back later through your lineage because you did something honorable? Right. We all want our own house, right? But to get your own house is going to take sacrifice. And there is a war that we're living in now. There is a war that some were born in, and there is a war that's coming. And you have to stand strong, because it's very easy to be Peter and deny Christ before that crow sounds off 3 times. It's very easy. This is hard. This is difficult. This is a challenge. That's why this is the few. 144,000 out of all the people in the earth. It's a very few number. Go ahead, Robin Young.
So I got a precept.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
He that loveth father or mother.
He that what?
He that loveth father or mother
He that loveth father or mother more than the Most High, you can't just be loving your father and mother more. I know they raised you. I know they taught you. And you're supposed to love them. Just not love them more. Continue.
Come on. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Is not worthy. Continue, though, because this is where it gets heavy. You see, the mother and father thing's easy. But when it comes to that kid, especially them sisters.
Right.
The sisters, this thing, badass son, who's going to prison 3 times over everybody. Continue.
Come on. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
You're not worthy of the Most High. You're not worthy of Christ. You're not worthy of the covenant. You're not worthy of anything. If you love your mother and your father, your sister and your brother, your son or your daughter, more than the Most High and more than Christ. Continue reading.
Come on, verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross.
And what?
And he that taketh not his cross.
You see, you got to take that cross every day. What does that mean? What does it mean to take your cross? Take up your burden. That's good, but I'm looking for a specific thing. What do you got to do every day? What did Christ do on that cross that you got to do every day? Hold on. Let me get the young man in the back.
It's like I said, if I could, you got to die daily.
You have to die daily.
That's right.
That's what it means to take your cross. That's what he did on the cross. Y'all give young man Cario a hand. Because that's what you have to do every day. That's what we do here every day. Because if not, then what?
Come on.
If I don't die every day, I'm going to smoke weed.
That's right.
I'm going to hit that big booty, whether she got a man or not. I'm going to do all of the things that my belly and my rod tells me if I don't take up my cross daily.
Right.
But since I take up my cross daily, I got to think about it.
Right.
So I do this. Then I got to look at my brothers. I got to stand before the Most High. Got to look at my king. It's not even worth it. Go ahead, continue reading.
Come on. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me.
You see, you have to take up that cross. Let me get a Revelations. Do we read 11 and 12?
All
right, let me get Matthew 24 and 37.
This book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 27. 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So we know how the days of Noah was.
Right.
Noah was building this ark for 100 years, getting ridiculed, killed, being made to look like a fool because nothing was happening. So they're making him look like some idiot, right? They're talking all this noise. Imagine for 100 years you looking at somebody and they telling you something, and it ain't happening yet, but he's preparing, and he's getting closer and closer every day, and you're getting further and further every day. And he's telling you, hey, this water's going to come. Right now I'm preparing. You could be on here with me if you choose. Continue reading.
Come, verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
Ain't that happening today? That's why it says, as in the days of Noah before that flood, so is how it's going to be in the days of the Son of Man. You're going to be eating and drinking and giving in marriage and having fun and partying and going on 6th Street and snorting cocaine and doing whatever the hell you want. But this is like the days of Noah. But you see every Friday, those brothers on the corner preparing the ark. They're adding another board. They're adding the sidewalls. They're adding the lower deck. They're adding everything. That's what we're doing every time at camp. We're adding another piece to the ark. So when that flood comes, we can be on that ark and we can be saved. We can be rescued. We can be with the Lord. So as of the days of Noah, that's how it is today. When you're at camp and they're spitting on you and they're calling you the N-word and they're desecrating you and they're trying to make you feel lower than possible, just remember, Every time you go to camp, you're adding another piece of wood to that deck who is going to save you and the other 8 souls. Not for the people watching. Don't put no funny stuff. Okay? But it's going to save your nation. That's what you're doing. You're preparing a way for your nation. Every time Yaquab's out there and he's teaching. Every time Kakam, right? Every time Rappan Yad. Every time that big priest Zakaria out there, right? That's what y'all are doing. When Zacharias out there on that podium, he is Noah telling you what's going to happen. And he is building and building and building. That's what you have to understand. Right. So as those days of Noah was, people were given in marriage, and every time we're down there, don't we see them come through on that party bus with their little the little bridal party. Oh. And one of them got the veil because she's the one getting married. Even though she's about to blow a rod tonight for one last time. I can't get married without blowing a rod, for one last time. That's what we were doing out there. Continue reading.
So we come until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
That's what it's going to be right here. Just like it was in that time. Just like it was in the time of Noah, that's how it's going to be in the time of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. People are going to be swept away because they didn't listen to you. They didn't understand that you were the only man of God that they know. Some people in their household, they're the only man of God that anybody knows. Everybody can't be Yaquab. Okay. Yaquab different. He got Captain 13,000. Got the sock right there, But still, Yaquab is a good thing to look at, to know that every man has to get it himself.
Right.
Every man has to get it himself. Everything you want, you have to go out there and you have to get it. I don't think I ever seen Cap bring Yaquab to Hebrew Academy. Not one time. Right. Not one time. That's important to understand. That means you have to go get it. You have to want it yourself. Continue reading.
Come. Verse 40. Then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left.
This is why Christians believe in the rapture, because of this scripture. Because there will be two in the field and one will be taken and one will be left. Well, one's going to be a part of the truth. One might have helped the truth. That's it. It's not the rapture. Continue reading.
Come. Verse 41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left.
Continue.
Verse 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord do come.
See, this is what this is about. This is about staying righteous, because you don't know when the Lord's coming. The Lord could come right in the middle of your sin, and they could destroy you. You could lose everything for that. Let me get Isaiah 26 and 20.
This book of Isaiah.
I need a water, and cause somebody see me real quick. You just read. Yeah, you just read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou.
Hold on. Read that again.
Come. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people.
Come, my people. That's who's going to be saved. The Lord's people. It says, come, my people. Continue.
Enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee.
The water.
Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment.
You see, it says, somebody break that down. Hold on. It says, shut the doors about thee, right? Come, my people, enter into thy chambers. Think of what this is. Enter into my chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself for as a little moment. Finish it out, and then we'll break it down.
Will come, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed.
Somebody break that down. What does that mean?
So basically, what this is?
What is it coming to our chamber? Coming to my chambers.
Coming to a chariot will be saved.
Yeah, I'm right. Most High in Christ. All right, continue. Yeah. What is that little moment?
That little moment is when Christ is destroying the earth.
Because it's going to be for what? A
salvation for his people.
A short time.
Okay.
We're going to have to be up there in a short time. It's going to be nuclear warfare. We know what nukes can do. We know nukes can wipe out anything. When these nukes happen and the Lord call us, it's going to be for a short time. Right. Continue reading.
Will come until the indignation be overpassed.
Until it overpassed. Continue.
Verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. Mm-hmm. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
You see, this is how you know that you're going to get retribution. And what does it mean that the earth shall also disclose her blood and shall no more cover their slain? What does that mean? Just think about at this time when Christ is there and this is happening. Go ahead.
It's like, so if I could, is it like the reverse of like when Christ said the kingdom of heaven has suffered violence until now, but when he comes back, we're not going to suffer violence no more.
No. Think of they shall not cover their slain. What does that mean? If you're not going to cover their slain, what does that mean? Read that whole verse again.
This is book of Isaiah chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth.
See, he's going to punish the inhabitants of the earth. Continue.
For their iniquity, the earth also shall disclose her blood.
It's going to disclose their blood. That means blood running through the streets. Continue.
And shall no more cover her slain.
No more cover her slain. What does that mean? During this time, what's going to be happening? When we're out there doing all this, and no more shall cover their slain, that's not us. That's our enemy. What does that mean? How do you cover your slain today? If you die today, what happens? Where do you go?
I go to the casket.
You go to the casket. They ain't gonna have no caskets. Right. Their blood's gonna be running through the street, and they're not gonna be covered. They're not gonna have no funerals. They're not gonna have no honor. Their body's gonna be there decaying because they're not gonna be covered. That's what's going to happen to them. All right, for time's sake, I'm gonna skip those. Let me get Zechariah 13:8.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
You see, because not all of us can make it. It's a select few. A third of us is going to perish. Just think of that. Just think of all of us. And think of a third. They're gone. That's a lot. What does it say right there? Hold on. Let me make sure I read that right. But a third, no, only a third will be left. 2/3 is gone. 2/3 of us. So if there's 3 of us, 2 of us is gone. Not us in here. I'm just saying, if you maximize that through us in the world. Where are we at?
Verse 8.
Oh yeah, continue reading.
Come, but the third shall be left therein.
The third is you brothers in here, you sisters in here. Y'all are the third. Continue reading.
Kawakan, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
And I will what?
Bring the third part through the fire.
Hey, we thought we were saved. I thought we were saved, Christians. He said that third part that's going to make it, we're going to be brought through the fire. Right. How do you try a piece of metal? Through the fire. Right. So you strengthen it, take out its impurities, and make it strong and ready for war by putting it through the fire. Continue reading.
Kawakan, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God.
Why do Christians believe it's going to be so easy and so LGBT? That's what they really believe. Right. They believe God is all love. Does this sound like love? The ones that are saved are going through fire. We went through. You said what?
What's crazy? This also could be a baptism cut too.
Oh yeah.
Because they said.
Oh yeah.
Because what John the Baptist said, Christ will be the one to baptize with fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like.
And this also reminds me of Hebrew Academy.
That's right. Right.
Because it doesn't matter. You still had to go through the fire to be a third, to be the person who didn't leave, to be the person who endured to the end. What the hell did you do at the end? But go through fire. Christians can't understand this because they don't have the Spirit of God.
Right.
You are the only one. Anywhere that you are the highest authority on the Bible. Let me get, is there any more on that?
No, sir, that's it.
Let's get Revelations 18 and 9, and let's get Revelations 18 and 9.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her.
You see, there's going to come a time, and we live in this time, but they're going to see America fall. America is going to be the lake of fire. But they're going to see America fall, and they're going to bewail. How are they going to see it? They're going to see it just like we see it. We see things on TV, right? Is that how we see what's happening in the Middle East and in Russia and Ukraine? That's how we see. They're going to see it like that too, right? And it said, all the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously, they're going to bewail and lament her. Continue reading.
Kawakan, when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
They're going to see that this is a lake of fire through nuclear warfare.
That's right.
They're going to see that, and they're going to bewail her. They're going to scream because they know that every trade, everything else. Man, Cat brought out something. I don't know if I got that in here. Cat brought out something. It was like every goddamn thing. The wheat, the barley, the wine, the oil, the food, every goddamn thing. I was like, goddamn, like when you talk about a shutdown, ain't nothing going to be sold. Yep, continue reading.
Kawakan, verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon.
They're going to be standing afar off, meaning they're in their land, and they're going to be seeing this great city, this Babylon, falling. That's why we scream, Babylon is falling, to rise no more. That's what this is talking about. Continue reading.
For in 1 hour is thy judgment.
For how long?
For in 1 hour.
Nah, it's going to take a lot of days.
1 hour.
It's going to take years.
1 hour.
It's going to take 1 goddamn hour for this filthy, disgusting, wicked place who hates blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be destroyed. Continue reading.
Kawakan, Verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
No man's going to be able to buy us this merchandise anymore. Drop down to 4.
14.
No, verse 4. Or skip up back up to verse 4.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
See, this is what I don't understand about Christians. Christians believe that this is everybody in the earth. That this is saying, I heard another voice say, come out of heaven, my people. Right. How the hell is this Christians? Right. How the hell is this every nation on earth? When he's saying my people. Christians believe anybody who believes in God is God's people. That is a disgusting, wicked, filthy analogy. Continue reading.
Kawakan, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Verse 5.
Hold on. Read that part one more time.
Kawakan, come out of her, my people.
Do what? Come out of her, my people. We have to come up out of America. Come up out of America's philosophies. Come up out of their holidays.
Right.
Come up out of their Christianity. Come up out of their ways. Because if you stay in America's ways, then you are following the ways of who?
America.
Yes. But what? Who does America really follow? America follows Satan.
That's right.
That's who they follow. Because they legalize everything. They're going to legalize all the drugs. They're going to legalize all of the LGBTQ. They legalize all the abortion. They legalize anything that destroys you. Continue reading.
Kawakan, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
Be not partakers of her sins. Because of what? Continue reading.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Because if you're partakers of the sins that are going on, you're going to be partakers of the plagues too. Because you deserve the punishment.
Right.
If you partake in the sins, you partake on what you deserve what comes with that. Everything comes with something. And if you don't understand that, you're going to just partake. You're going to just, hey, I'm just going to do this. That's why the Bible says, lean not on your own understanding. Right. Because if you do just what you want to do, if you think just how you want to think, you got to remember, you are an idiot. You're going to serve your rod and your stomach.
Right.
And you're not going to care about anything else. That's what most of us serve in this world. Whatever makes us feel good. Well, God, the Bible, Christ, is not about you feeling good. It's about what they told you to do.
Right.
All right. Where we at? That's the end of that?
Yeah, that's the end of that.
The end of 5?
No, I ain't read verse 5 yet.
Read verse 5.
Kawakan, for her sins have reached unto heaven.
For what?
For her sins have reached.
America's sins have reached unto heaven. Do you see the destruction? Do you see the horror that goes on in this place?
Right.
These sins that have happened has reached unto America. This is exactly what Revelations 18:4 it is talking about America. America is that great city, that great Babylon,
Right.
that great whore that everybody hates. Because America steps into everybody's business. So we have to understand that the America sins, it has reached heaven. The worst things in the world have gone on here.
Right.
Just really think, and just continue to think on what's happened. America is so filthy that it doesn't care about its veterans. Donald Trump went over, was supposed to go to Normandy, France. You know, that's where Vietnam was happening and all that, right? No, not Vietnam, Slovakia. The World Wars, World War I, World War II.
Right.
Fighting over there, fighting with Hitler, fighting with Germany. Donald Trump he was supposed to go over there and he didn't because he didn't want to give them the glory. You know what he said about those people who died fighting for their country? He said, this is a graveyard of suckers.
That's right. Good night, he said.
And that's what you will be looked at if you go and fight for your country. Have you seen how many veterans are under the bridge?
Right.
That fought for their country. Because nobody cares about them. Nobody really cares about the poor. But you know what? Here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we are called a hate group. We are called a cult. We are called many things. But we take care of all the poor. Have you ever seen a white man come and get clothes, or a white woman come and get clothes and food from us? Yes. Right. Even though we're called a hate group, right, we still feed and clothe everybody because we're not a hate group. We're a love group. We have compassion. We have compassion for the earth, just like Christ did. All right. Now I'm gonna get two more scriptures and then we're gonna end it. Let me get Amos 5:18. Amos 5:18, and we'll end it. Amos 5:18, and then Wisdom of Solomon 5:2.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. You know how many people in this earth want Christ to come back right now?
Right.
Knowing that they are wicked, because everybody believes that Christ is who they want him to be. That's why people say, not my Jesus. Oh, you probably shouldn't be sleeping with that man's wife. Well, not my Jesus, because my Jesus is about love. So he gonna forgive me. But that man might walk in and blow your brains out for sleeping with his wife.
That's right.
This is, everybody wants Christ to come back, but everybody's not doing what Christ told them to do. Right. That is dangerous. Continue reading.
Come. To what end is it for you?
So what end is it for you? You asking for the day of the Lord. What end is it for you when you are going against God? When you are going against God, you are going against Christ, and you're asking for this to happen. That is a dangerous thing. You don't want to be, you don't want Christ to come back while you're snorting cocaine. You don't want Christ to come back while you're buying a prostitute. That's when you want Christ to come back. You're asking for Christ to come back, and you're sinning. That is dangerous. What if he comes back right in the middle of your sin? Are you still saved? Because God loves everybody? That's what destroys the earth on the God loves everybody. Because you feel like since he loves everybody, you could be doing whatever the hell you want. But just imagine you're doing something wicked and Christ comes back. That's why it's like, what is it? What's in it for you? What's in it for you when Christ comes back? You asking for the day of the Lord and you wicked. Continue reading.
Come. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's going to be scary. You remember in Egypt, when all those firstborns of the Egyptians died, the animals, the children, everything, that was a scary time even for Israelites. They put that blood of the lamb over their doorstep so that Passover could pass over them. But that would still be scary. Imagine your next door neighbor howling because their child died. You think that wouldn't be scary to you? Come on, man. This is real life. All right. Let me get my last one. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. And then we're going to end the class.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yep.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So far beyond all that they look for.
It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terror and fear. They shall be amazed by the strangeness of his salvation. What does that mean about Christ? How are they going to be troubled by the strangeness of his salvation?
Go
ahead.
Probably gonna be like, this is not what we thought.
That's not what we thought. Because who are they looking for? Who has the earth given you? We all been given who?
A white man with a bus down?
Yeah, but Caesar Borgia. That was the image that Rodrigo Borgia, the second Pope of Rome, he got Michelangelo to paint that depiction.
Right.
And I grew up believing that was Christ. So if I seen anybody else, I wouldn't have believed it until now, until I got the understanding. Is there any questions? Online in the chat, y'all can ask questions too. Cuz Chevy, y'all can ask questions too. Any questions? You got one, Cario? Go ahead. Yeah, I want all the questions you're gonna ask, cuz.
But Jesus said all nations went back.
All right, hey, somebody give me Acts 2 and 6. This is what he means by all nations. Acts 2 and 6.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 6.
All right, let's get this. Let's see. This is all nations. Let's go.
Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
That's Acts 2 and 6? 2 and 5. Salakia.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation.
That was what?
Devout men out of
it said there was dwelling Jews, devout men out of every nation. Now let me show you how we became Gentiles. Give me 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. I'm gonna show you real quick. This is how we became Gentiles.
Right.
And I'm gonna break it down to today's terms. Go ahead.
This is book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts.
See, neither was it lawful, cuz you're gonna have to mute. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep ancient feast days or Sabbath days. It became unlawful for us. Continue reading.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
This is how we became Hellenists, or to profess himself also as a Jew. We're not allowed to say that. Even today, Kyrie Irving shared a post, and he got his endorsements taken away. Kanye West didn't say white people weren't Jews. He said the Jews are black also. And he got ostracized for that. They took away everything for that. That's crazy. He didn't even say the white people weren't Jews. He said Jews are blacks also. Black people are Jews also. So when it talks about all nations, it's talking about Israelites. That's why I said devout men, Jews from every nation, because we are scattered through all the four corners of the earth.
So all nations, Israelites only?
Yes. Yes. It says it. It says devout men, Jews from every nation. We know we were scattered through all nations on the earth. It says that in the Bible.
Can I request?
Yeah, you definitely can, Chevy. Go ahead.
Can somebody read Acts 14 and 2, please?
All right, let's see it.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 2. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against the brethren.
All right, so we know who the Gentiles is. It says it stirred up their minds to the brethren. We know what the Gentiles are. Gentiles are Hellenistic Jews. Yeah, go ahead, Robert. You gotta read that. Read this precept. Y'all got the young boys in here. Yeah. It ain't just me. I got my young boys in here.
That precept or my precept?
You said what?
I had a different precept than you.
No, you read your precept.
Okay, come on. It's talking about Christ. A prophecy of Christ in the book of Isaiah.
Yep. Let's get it.
In the book of Isaiah.
This is Isaiah, Chevy. You love Isaiah, Chevy.
Chapter 11 and verse 12. And it says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel.
You see, he's going to set up an end time for the nations and assemble the outcast of Israel. Continue reading.
Come on, and gather together the dispersed of Judah.
And gather together who?
The dispersed of
The
Judah.
dispersed of Judah. Continue.
Come on, from the four corners of the earth.
From where?
From the four corners of the
Because we were
earth.
scattered from the four corners of the earth. Continue.
Come on, this is a precept to what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
and Chevy, what you said I didn't address? Go ahead.
Question: what does Kama Khan mean?
Kana wa Khan just means yes, Lord, yes. Just it's somebody over you. Anybody over you is a Lord. That's it. Yeah, it's not. You said what?
The brother just called you.
Lord just means over. It's not that deep. Like you thinking like Lord, you're thinking like Lord in the Christian sense, like Lord your God. I'm not a God. I'm not nothing. I'm nothing. Okay, but I am over them, so they say that. Okay, that's all that is. But Chevy, ask what you asked. Would you say I didn't address? Which one?
Acts 14:2. My question though is, it says, but the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affecting against their brethren. Who is the unbelieving Jews? Are those the Hebrew Israelites?
Yes.
Let me read it.
Yes. Read it again.
Come on, it's 12 and 13. That was 12.
Yeah. Read 12 and 13.
Come on. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 12. And he
Oh no, Chevy, where was you at? You was in Acts.
Acts 14:2.
Yeah, Acts 14:2. Go back to there. Read which one? Yeah. Read verse 1. Start at 1.
Come on. It's the book of
Hey,
Acts.
who was in the synagogue? Read it.
Come on. It's the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 1. And it came to pass in Iconium that they went both together in the synagogue of the Jews.
They went where?
Into the synagogue of the Jews.
This is the synagogue of the Jews. Continue.
Come on. And so spake that a great multitude, both of the Jews and also the Greeks, believed.
You see, so when it says of the Jews and also the Greeks, what does that mean? See, this is where y'all get confused because y'all have to understand that anybody. Good night. Nah, my phone, man.
Dang.
Nah, it be getting hot. Hold on, my phone be getting hot. Damn. Yeah, my phone hot right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to hold on. Let me put it by the fan so it can cool down. Yeah. Stick my young boys on. I'm gonna just put y'all on tonight. You know. There any questions in the room? Go ahead, Cario.
It's like yourself right there.
Go ahead.
I have a question in Matthew 2 and I think it's 2 and 2.
Go ahead.
I'll start at verse 1 to your question. It says, now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of the Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. My question was in verse 2, and it says, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? How did they know that he was king of the Jews already?
They knew he was king of the Jews because of the prophecy. Yeah.
If I could.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. It's just, hold on, my bad, man. My phone
The reason why
overheating.
he was named King of the Jews already because it was prophecies beforehand in the Old Testament that was referring to Christ. And everyone knows that he's the King of the Jews because of the lineage he came through, which is the lineage of David. So everyone tracked down who this was through the lineage, what lineage he was. Like, for example, if Joseph, which is Christ's father, if the Jews were still ruling and weren't under the Romans, Joseph will be a king.
We'll read it, Chevy.
And they know Christ will be the next king, which comes from the seed of David. So this prophecy, it was prophecies in the Old Testament referring to Christ. That's how everybody knew who he would be in the New Testament. So that's how you know that he was already going to be the King of Kings.
What scripture you got, Chevy? Okay, all right, we'll go back to there. All right. So you got that?
Come on, sir.
All right, read what you wanted again, Cario.
Matthew chapter 2 and verse 2.
Yeah, read it again.
Saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews?
Mm-hmm.
For we have seen his star in the east.
You see, King of the Jews. Even the wise men, when they came, they seen he was the King of the Jews, right?
Come on, sir.
Continue reading.
In the east, and are come to worship him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. When Herod, my question was in verse 2. Would you want me to read, sir?
Your question was where?
In verse 2, but
verse 2. What was your question again?
It was I asked how did they know that he was born king?
Yeah. Because of the prophecies. Like the thing with Christ, his birth, it was prophesied.
Okay.
Right? We knew he was going to be the King of Kings. We knew all of that from before. So his birth was prophesied because he was going to be the greatest of us. Okay. All right, Chevy, what you want? One more time. What you want? 14 and 2?
I'm still at Acts 14 and 1.
Acts 14 and 1 through what?
Can you teach on Acts 14 and 1 through 7?
Acts 14 and 1 through 7. Somebody give me that.
Hold on, sir. It's the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass in Iconium.
All right, go ahead.
That they went both together into the synagogue of the Jews.
The what?
The synagogue of the Jews.
So in Acts, they came together and they went to the synagogue of the Jews. Continue reading.
Okay. And so spake that a great multitude both of the Jews and also of the Greeks believed.
Both of the Jews and the Greeks. So we know what Jew and Greek, right? Because it says there's neither Jew nor Greek. There's more nationalities than Jew and Greek in this world, right?
Okay.
So if that's the case, it should only be Jews and Greeks and nobody else saved. Continue reading.
Okay. Verse 2. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against their brethren.
See, that's what happens. When you're at camp and you're speaking, you're saying blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Israelites. There's going to be what?
They made their minds evil.
No, read before that.
The unbelieving
Jews. Our people who are out there going against us, unbelieving, what are they doing out there? They're trying to make everybody believe what they believe. Continue reading.
Okay. Stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against their brethren.
And that's what happened. Because you can go out there and make you hate your own brother because you can't receive this. Continue reading.
Okay, verse 3. Long time therefore abode, they speaking boldly in the Lord.
You see, when you abode, that means you living and you dwelling in the Lord. That's what abode means. Abode means to live, to dwell. You have to live and dwell and speak boldly in the Lord. You can't be scared. Continue reading.
Okay. Which gave testimony unto the word of his grace. And granted signs and wonders to be done by their hands.
Okay.
Verse 4. But the multitude of the city was divided, and part held with Jews, and part held with apostles.
Okay.
Verse 5.
We know the apostles are the same thing as a Jew, right?
Right.
Do y'all know any apostles who were Israelites? Okay. Most High in Christ. Continue reading.
Verse 5. And when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews with their rulers, to use them despitefully and to stone them. Verse 6. And they were aware of it and fled until
they were aware of it, meaning aware of it.
Right.
Like we can see. You know how we can see things in this world that's happening? Especially being in the truth. Being in the truth, we have an advantage.
Right.
because we see things that other people cannot see. That's what they see. Continue reading.
Come. And fled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of, what is it, Lycaonia?
Hey, help the brother out if y'all know.
Kind. Are you? Yeah, like you said it right.
Lycaonia, and to the region that lieth round about. Verse 7. And they preached the gospel.
And they what?
Preached the gospel.
And they preached the gospel. What is the gospel? The gospel is the good news.
That's right.
What is the good news? I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to everybody. All right, go ahead, cuz. The good news is what, cuz? The teachings of Christ. All right, Chevy, what you got? You got something, Chevy?
So yeah, the good news. They preach the gospel and the good news. The reason why I was asking the brothers to read from 1 through 7 was because in these scriptures here it clearly states that there were not just Jews, there were Gentiles, and it says about God's grace, and it also talks about spreading the gospel. So my question now, why is it that only the Jews get into heaven, and why is it the Jews got to be black to be in heaven?
It's not just black. You always say black, Chevy, but it's not just black.
Yeah, right? But that's what I preach, right? Like I don't see many light-skinned brothers in the camps.
Man, you gonna see light skins. If I turn this corner, you gonna see light skins.
Right.
I got a yellow nigga right here looking like Drake. Two puff balls. You look like Drake. He lighter than you, Chevy. Chevy, you an East Indian. He lighter than you, Chevy.
I got the precept of the gospel, sir.
Acts 1 through 7. Does that not explain that there's more than just Jews in the kingdom?
Yeah, it doesn't, because you have to understand. Like anytime it says Jew nor Greek, Jew, this, Jew, it's pinning one other thing, because it's talking about. Hold on. I got warriors out here. Hold on. Let me shut up. Yaquab, go ahead.
Hey, Salami, sir. Anytime I was referring to Jews and Greeks, the reason why I was referred to as Jews and Greeks because the Greeks were people who adopted customs of other nations. So that's why Christ had to go get the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because they were lost. They were following other customs, and that refers back to the scripture you read earlier, Acts 2 and 6, devout men out of every nation under heaven, because they were in every other nation. They were following every other nation's cultures and laws, and that's why Christ had to tell them to go get those lost sheep.
And don't we do that today?
Come.
Don't we follow everything today?
Come.
Zachariah.
Oh, so if I could, we also can't forget about
Hold
where it
on,
says.
Chevy, 1 second. I'm gonna get you.
We also can't forget about where it says in the book of Genesis, where it says that Sarah shall be the mother of many nations.
Of what?
Of many nations.
Sarah is the mother of many nations, but thy seed shall be called through Isaac. Hold on. Go ahead, Chevy, before I let them go, because they ready to tear off.
Yes, but the brother did not answer any of the questions there. He kind of diverted from what I just spoke about.
All right, go ahead and ask your question one more time.
Acts 14, 1 through 7.
Yep.
Does that not explain that there's Jews, there's Greeks, there's Gentiles, and did they not all spread the gospel?
Yeah, but they all are Israelites. That's what you're not understanding, Chevy.
I'm not seeing anywhere in the 7 parts when anybody was divided or told that they cannot be a part of the kingdom.
All right. Who got something next? I got the young boys here, Chevy. They ready to go. Oh, they're not saying nothing. He said y'all ain't saying nothing.
That's really, since he ain't asked.
All right, we gonna go to Acts. Let's go ahead.
The Greeks and the Gentiles. Everybody know that the Gentiles are just Jews that didn't follow other customs.
Exactly.
So in the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 28.
Acts 10 and 28, Chevy.
And he said unto them, ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or to come unto one of another nation. but God has showed me that I should not call any man uncommon or unclean. So here he goes trying to say, oh, it's any man. But who is he talking to? Verse 36. Verse 36. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel.
See, read that again. Read that again from the front so I can break it down.
You want me to go to 28?
I want you to go back to the verse before, and then we'll go to
all right, this is book of Acts chapter 10, verse 28.
Mm-hmm. This is Acts 10 and 28. Go
and
ahead.
He said unto them, ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
So when we were in Acts, this is what we said. We said it's not unlawful for us to come to another man from another nation to keep that company. Right. Continue.
But God have showed me that I should should not call any man common or unclean.
God should told me that I should not call any man unclean. So when you read that, you're going to think every nation, but it's going to specify who it is. Go ahead.
Verse 36.
Mm-hmm.
The word which God said unto the children of Israel.
The word of God said unto the children of Israel. Continue.
Preaching by peace by Jesus Christ he is Lord of all.
See, this is the peace of Jesus Christ, who is Lord of all. You see, we want to put everything together. We want to mix and match and do all this up, the great mashup. But that's not going to work. Where my cousin? Oh, my cousin, he over there muted. Okay. Yeah. I know you. I shouldn't even got you riled up. All right, go ahead, Rapping God.
The precept for the gospel.
All right, yeah, we going to the gospel. Go ahead, Rapping God.
It's what Christ quoted, and
they answered the question.
It's what Christ quoted in Luke chapter 4.
Hold on, Rapping God. What didn't get answered, Chevy?
I'm trying to ask the question as to.
All right, go ahead.
1 through 7.
Uh-huh.
What they read. How come no one wants to describe the understanding of what's going on in Acts 1 through 7? I'm jumping chapters all over the book.
No. We stayed in Acts. We stayed in Acts to answer Acts. Yeah. We stayed in Acts to answer Acts. That was already established.
Right, but the whole book of Acts is showing you how the Jews, the Gentiles, and the Greeks
are the same people. That's what Acts is showing you.
So you're saying that only the Hebrew Israelites get the right of way. That's what you're telling me?
Yes, because they were promised the covenant. Somebody give me Hebrews 9 and 15.
See, now you jump into Hebrews. Okay, if you want to jump.
All right. Well, let's give me Acts 2 and 20. Give me Acts 2 and 21. Yeah, let's go to Galatians because you're gonna get cut.
It's the book of Acts.
Hold on, he said Galatians 2 and 14. Let's skip what I'm saying. Let's just go what he's talking about.
Right.
Yeah, let's skip what I'm talking about. Who cares what I'm talking about? Let's talk about what Chevy talking about. Hey, Chevy is my limo driver in the kingdom. I don't think y'all know. Chevy gonna have a good life. Chevy gonna be a limo driver. He gonna be walking through like. You think he happy for Trump?
Right.
If he happy for Trump, how much happier would he be working for me?
Right.
Okay.
All right. He wanted Galatians 2 and 14.
Yeah, that's what Chevy wants. Yeah. Chevy. You know, I talk to Chevy every day. Okay.
It's the book.
Yeah, he said it's a cut for you, Chevy. No, we're going to explain it. He said it's a cut for you. So it's probably a cut for you. Let's go.
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 14.
Yeah.
But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou being a Jew.
If thou what?
If thou being a Jew.
Continue.
Livest after the manner of Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, Why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews?
Read that again. Oh my goodness. Read it again.
Hold on.
Hold on. We're going to read it one more time.
But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel.
See, we walk accordingly to the truth of the gospel. This ain't talking about ISUBK. Yeah, we're bringing the Gentiles back into the fold. All right, hold on.
The next verse kills it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's continue reading.
Come on, time. Who are Jews by nature?
Who are what? What verse is that?
Verse 15.
Verse 15 says, "Who are Jews by nature?"
We who are.
What is Jew by nature? Chevy, you're an East Indian by nature. I am a Jew by nature. That's why you try to keep discrediting me from that. When the prophecies say, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 23.
Come on.
Chevy, I'm gonna show you how I'm these people.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head.
And thy heaven over thy head shall be what?
Shall be brass.
Shall be brass. Continue.
Come on, time. And the earth that is underneath shall be
earth underneath shall be what?
Iron.
Iron. When you think of blacks and Hispanics, what is that? Iron. Drop down to 48.
Come on, time. Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
We shall serve our enemies in what?
Which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
In hunger.
And in thirst.
In thirst.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Still today. Because we serve our oppressor in hungerness, nakedness, and thirst. Continue reading.
Come on, kind. And in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And that yoke of iron that went upon our neck is spiritual now. It's not a yoke of iron no more. It's spiritual because we are already enslaved to them. We're already submissive. Continue.
Come on, kind. Until he have destroyed thee. And the Lord, verse 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. Continue.
Come on, come from the end of the earth.
From the end of the earth. Ain't that where they came to get us? From the end of the earth. Continue.
Come on, come. As swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as the eagle flies. All Europeans, all the Spaniards, the French, the Germans, the Russians, America, they all reverence that eagle. Continue.
Come on, come. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. This happened to the God's chosen people.
That's right.
Chevy, all this stuff you talk, this is what happened to God's chosen people. Do you know who that happened to in this world? Continue reading, Rapayat.
Come on, come. A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce confidence who don't regard the old. I can't even let them finish. Who don't regard the old or the young.
That's right.
Good night. They don't care if you're old or you're young. No, we're not the same thing. Because you want to compare us to the KKK. I regard him when I feed him. When I give him shoes at camp.
That's right.
I regard him. He doesn't regard me when he puts his foot on my neck and I choke and I have to scream, Mama, as a grown man.
I got a preset.
No, Esau does do that.
Okay, teach me something. I'm trying to learn.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is not about cutting people. This is not about.
Yeah. I'm not trying to cut you right now. I'm just trying to.
This is about educating each other so we can learn. Because I want to understand. You know, where does it say that every time you read the scripture in front of your teacher, you gotta keep saying Lord? Like, what is that about? What is that?
What do you mean? What do you mean that?
The brother keeps saying Kawakan, which means Lord. Why is the brother calling him Lord every time?
Because I'm just above them. But go ahead, Rapayat.
Come on. The reason why that is done is because it's just respect.
That's all.
Just like if you work at the job that you work at, The job that you work at every day, you tell your boss, yes, sir, because he's over you.
Yeah.
He's a leader over you.
It's just respect. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
it's just a respect. He's a leader.
Well, Khan out of one Khan means Lord, sir, Lord, sir. Yeah, yeah. It's different because you, as a East Indian, said me as a black man should be happy for slavery. You did say that because you said that's how I got Jesus. You said that's how America got great. Just like they address Geno Jennings. You think they don't address Geno Jennings like that? They don't have to say nothing because he just says, read the book of Jeremiah. Read. Because it's because I'm over them. That's just a respect thing. That's all it is. It's like saying, sir, yes, sir. Just like if somebody's over me, I'll say yes, sir. That's it. No. It's all the same. Because Christ is over all of us. But Christ is over all of us because he was a master servant. Christ served us. That's what master means. Master means to serve. So as they're reverencing me, I'm serving them. Lord of Lords. Christ is called Lord of Lords. Christ is called Ottawans of Ottawans. Christ is called Lord of Lords.
You're not Jesus, though.
No, I don't have to be, but I'm still over them. I teach them.
Okay, but you're their teacher.
Okay, that's all we're saying. But as a teacher, you know what I really am? Really, you know what really I am? I'm a servant of them. I serve them.
Right.
Anybody younger than me, I serve them. They might call me a higher title, but my job is to serve them. Their job ain't to serve me. Even though I'm above them.
Where did this doctrine come from? That's what I'm questioning.
Where did what doctrine? From God. From Christ. From Christ. Christ was the greatest servant.
Right.
Like remember when he had that interaction with John the Baptist? When he had the interaction with John the Baptist, he had to go and serve him. That's why he said, oh, I shouldn't be baptizing you. You should be baptizing me. Christ said, no. And Christ washed people's feet. Because even though he's higher than everybody, he serves everybody. That's what we do.
You're comparing the Lord Jesus Christ to yourself?
No. I don't compare Christ to me. But if Christ is good enough to serve, then I'm good enough to serve. Right. And you should be good enough to serve, Chevy.
My question is, why is one man calling another man Lord?
He's calling him Lord because he is a master. He is over them.
Sir, he off topic.
Because he is over them.
Sir, he off topic. Sounds back to what he was talking about.
Yeah, he always, yeah.
Why is one man calling another man Lord?
You could.
Why do you call Geno Jennings over you? You call Geno Jennings your Lord.
My brother, I didn't bring up Geno Jennings.
No, but I'm saying that is your Lord. Like somebody who is over you, somebody with more knowledge. Chevy, I am your Lord too. No, I don't teach them to call me. I don't teach them to call me nothing. It's just like somebody saying, sir, yes, sir. You're fine with that. You're fine with that in Trump's military. In Trump's military, you're fine with Lord, yes, sir. Aren't you? That's all it's saying. It's just saying, sir, yes, sir. That's it. That's it. It's not that deep. No, you're trying to. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You thinking Lord is God? I'm not a God. No, I'm over them. I am over them. We have rank and order. Just like, is Geno Jennings over anybody in his church? Then he's the Lord of that church. The Lord doesn't mean like what you think. You're trying to equate the Lord to God. That's not what that means.
You don't have to be God. In my mind, Lord and Master.
No. Master. All right, so Christ was master. But you know why Christ was master? Because he was the ultimate servant. Because Christ served people and washed their feet. That's why he is the master.
Why are young black men calling another black man Lord?
I'm not a black man. I'm a Puerto Rican. These is niggas. I'm a Puerto Rican, nigga.
All right, so now, how come only the Native Americans, the Latinos...
Hey, Salakia. Hey, hold on, y'all. Hey, hold on. Y'all mute up real quick. Just give me 10 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Mute up. All right, y'all go ahead and get the security announcements.
This is the ISU. This is the ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, or he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, found in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashrim. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Gives to the Treasury Department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of First Fruits. Starts after the Sabbath unleavened bread, Sunday, April 20th, 2025. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day. So Sunday, June 8th, 2025 starts before sundown, found in Leviticus 20, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. Remind Akim and Akwath to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, /scarf. Back over.
All right, with that, we're going to Armageddon, which means a sand. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Ma Shabbat, Armageddon, Barak, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. All right, Yazamata, we're going to Sar, which means turn, face the sisters rise. Men of Israel, Ma Shabbat, Armageddon, Barak, Yahweh Shem Shabbat, Yazamata, dismiss.